Well, it's a big day on the SEMA truck today. We're going to go on a road trip to John Bouchard Racing Engines. John Bouchard is former host of Horsepower TV. Now he has his own custom hot rod shop where they build racing engines. He just had an engine do the King of the Hammers that come in second place, which is an extremely brutal race. They run that motor for like 200 miles wide open through Moab, and he's doing some phenomenal work, and he is building our engine for us. So we're going to take a ride to his shop. We're going to check out our 460. He's got it out. He's got the bottom end together. Comp Cam's custom ground us a camshaft that he's got in it. Trickflow has supplied us with aluminum heads, full roller, everything. So we're going to go check all that out, see how that is. Meanwhile, you can see the progress I've made on the truck. I took a ½ inch out of this right above the rain gutter. Then I took 4 1/4 inches out of the front of it. I took 4 inches out of the back of it. That give it just a little bit of a rake down in the front, so it gives it a little more of a street rodder look. I left my back window full size. I just cut it, the whole framing loose, and dropped it down as a whole unit so to make it easy on my back glass, keeping my front glass, keeping my truck straight up and down the sides without raking in these post ends. Going to make it a lot easier on cutting this front windshield. Just make one cut right there. So this is looking really nice, really fat, and that's what we're going for, fat and big. So let's take a ride to John's shop and check out our engine. Well, we finally made it down here to John Bouchard Racing Engine Shop, and here's John Bouchard, and he's got our 460 for Chris McFarland's truck, the SEMA project that we're taking to Vegas this year. And can you tell us a little about your motor you got here?
Yeah, we're going to do something pretty trick this year, man. We're going to do another 460. So we got a pretty basic short block prep from Frank up at Tommy's Auto Machine. Went ahead and ground a custom comp cam hydraulic roller camshaft for what we're doing with the stack setup and fuel injection. We put that big old crazy load. And then the rest, pretty much trickflow came in and took care of us again this year. So we're running their 290cc fastest cast heads. Basically everything else is trickflow. Valve train, balancer, got some Ford Racing sponsors that came on and took care of us with some little stuff, and I think this is going to be pretty cool, man. It ought to hit really hard with an idle, have a big old school load to it, but drivability will be there, easy on parts, and with the fuel injection, you know, fire right up and go, man. It's going to be slick.
Outstanding. Well, I got to give a big shout out to Trickflow for stepping up to the plate and sending us these nice heads and all these parts. This is going to be outstanding. But as far as what you do here, can you give us a little background history of how you come along with building these engines and all?
Well, when I got out of the Marines, I kind of went to automotive school, wanted to kind of do this, and my grandfather kind of sat me down and said, hey, even if you're going to be a mechanic, you know, you need to specialize in something. So my shop teacher, Mike Carroll, he built engines. I would go out there at night, worked at a little Napa, fell in love with the machining process. When I left there, went up to work with Frank at Tommy's Auto Machine, and you know, he's a Ford guy, so that's where I got a lot of the Ford background from. And they were just one of those kind of shops that were like, it doesn't matter if it's Chevy, Ford, Flathead, we do it all here, it doesn't matter. And don't look at it as a small block Chevy, forget that brand. It's look at the engine, look at the airflow, valve sizes. You know, if you think about it, a lot of stuff doesn't even matter what it's in. A valve spring don't know what it's in, a valve doesn't know what it's in. It just has to have the right size. So, you know, I got to step back and learn a completely different way of how to build engines, and it was worth it. So, you know, I went and did a TV show for a couple of years, Horsepower TV. That was pretty cool, and it enabled me enough to, you know, open up my own little shop, build custom motors, man.
Well, one of the most impressive things for me is the race King of the Hammers. Now, you just had an engine in there, and that's the most brutal race. It's like 200 miles of wide open. And how did y'all do in that?
We ended up finishing second, man. We ran that motor for 9 hours and 20 minutes. They broke a lot of stuff on the car. Like you said, it's wide open desert racing. Then it's, you know, rock climbing and all this stuff. They're real hard on it. It's, you know, out of 132 cars, I think 17 finished, and we finished second. So, yeah, we led most of the day. We sat on the pole one day. I mean, it was a powerhouse. We just, you know, you got to be there at the end. So second ain't win, but you know, I think we did pretty good for how hard that race is. I really do.
Well, maybe we'll get to go out there next year.
I'd love to, man, because I didn't do anything this year. That whole week, I just sat in front of the computer watching, so I might as well go.
I'd love to go, but first off is SEMA in Las Vegas this year with this bad truck, and it's going to be very impressive. And Chris, I hope you're watching this because you're really getting an impressive engineer. When you get this in your truck and you push this gas pedal, you're going to see what this thing is going to do. So let's get this engine together and let's run to Frank's Tom's Machine Shop up in Springfield, Tennessee. We got to give a shout out to Frank for letting us use his dyno. We're gonna carry it up there. We're gonna do a dyno run at Frank's, and we'll video that and show you that and show you what this engine will do. So let's get back at it.
All right, man. All right. See you, bud.